today, and I had on this fit yesterday, right? Some sweats and shit. But I never put on my other pants yesterday. It was the it was on Christmas. I had those pants. My keys was in there last night. So when I went to go look for keys, I'm thinking they're in my pocket or just in these pants or something I wore yesterday in my jacket, and it wasn't. Now I hop on live. It was talking about December 26th. Just weird shit, bro. I already woke up feeling like this day repeated just because of that shit, and I thought I was tripping. That don't seem mistake on YouTube to have the wrong date in the morning, saying it's the 26th today. But anyways, getting back to point. This is, and since we're on that topic, I guess I could start there before I hit the Libra scale. Because I guess before we go into it, okay, so I be mixing a clock and a compass because you use those to track the sun. The map that we use today is actually a map to track the sunspots. It's not a map for seeing which way to go type shit. I mean, you can use it if you actually go back to the degrees. Now you can see how it's placed around the 360. It's just like Cali. It's like pretty much when you put the degrees around the 360, now you have Pangea. All right, which seems kind of structured in the U.S. kind of sort of, but they delete it. They delete it. So um, it's something he's invested into though. You feel me? Let's see if we can find it real quick. See when. Yeah, let me find this shit real quick. Alright, cause my ass be everywhere. So this isn't gonna be one of them structured lives. I'm just talking while I'm doing my little smoke, you know. But since I got my notebooks next to me, we're gonna go into something. This is some 2021 shit. Okay. What's up, gang? But look, y'all see that right there? Say CVID. Okay? CVID. It doesn't have the O. If you look this up, like C dot V dot I dot D dot, now you come to something like this. Okay? So people wondering why HIV has just been on a big rise. This is HIV. CVID is HIV. Okay? I'm not saying this to spread fear to nobody. I'm just saying this for awarenesses. CVID is HIV. Okay, we're gonna get into it though. Okay, let me spark my blunt. Hood scientist, back on this jump. I really feel like shit just cause of this crap, bro. And plus, I'm cleansing right now too. Like, this shit can actually fuck with you mentally if you let it. But that's why they attack the foods, the drugs, and the air. So if you do 2 out of 3 correctly, then one of those things isn't gonna mess with you. If you do 3 out of Grand Rising. If we do 3 out of 3, something's gonna interfere there. You feel me? But hey y'all, hey y'all. Oh yeah, good. Cause I don't know where you're located, but just by the language, I be tracking the sun, right? And a lot of countries didn't take on the deal, and the U.S. always was there to be like, I'm gonna help you, and then they pull out, right? And every time they pulled out, that landmass end up frozen randomly. Like places that really doesn't deal with a lot of snow, frozen. Animals, frozen. Like weird. And I'm in the US looking on the other side of the universal line like, damn, we most likely gonna experience that shit too. But to understand how, you have to understand this timeline thing because they're manipulating the timeline. It's just like some Mr. Freeze shit. He wanted everything cold so he can run the world type shit. And he made a deal with the government also. Kind of like a Trump, a Donald Trump ass person. And the same story is in Mission Impossible, and so on and so on. But anyways, let's get back into this. Because other than the clouds and the manipulation, CVID is the rise of HIV. Okay? Y'all know what that word really says, because even if you try to say the abbreviations as a word, it will say COVID. Okay? The O is just the O blood. Okay? So, okay, common variable immunodeficiency is called CVID. CVID is an immune disorder characterized by recurring infections and low antibody levels, specifically in the immunoglobulin types I, lowercase g, uppercase G, IgM, and IgA. All this stuff you can look up, okay, y'all? Generally, symptoms include high susceptibility to foreign invaders, chronic lung disease, and inflammation and infections of the gastrointestinal tract. And it affects males and females equally. The condition can be found in children diagnosed 20 to 50. However, symptoms vary greatly between people. Doesn't this sound familiar? Okay. All right. Between people. Variables refer to heterogeneous clinical manifestations of this disorder, which includes recurrent bacterial infections, increased risk for autoimmune disease, and lymphoma, as well as gastrointestinal disease. CVID is a lifelong time disease. So really the only thing that'll get rid of that is fasting. Okay? Fasting. The code of CVID is poorly understood. Deletions in genes that encode cell surface proteins and cytokine receptors such as CD19, CD20, CD21, CD8 is a likely cause. A deletion is a mutation. It's just like chromosome 6 deletions about to be deleted in a lot of people. Either way, a gain of a cell, loss of a cell is a mutation. So people are just literally mutating, not even know it. We have subatomic particles traveling here at 1,000,000 miles per hour directly to us all the time. You feel me? So there's definitely mutations going on because a deletion is a mutation and part of the chromosomes is lost during DNA replication, which may cause and include several genes or as few as a single base pair. Additionally, the disease is defined by eye cells. That's why I say the ABCs will tell you everything you need to know, because the ABCs is actually the cycle of the brain. Okay, so when they were saying the Moors taught these people this, that, and the third, or how to speak and spell, is because those words are vibrations, and you're the X. Just look at my symbol. You're the X in between the cycle. The triangle down is the sun. The triangle up is the ground. You put it together is the shield of David, the Star of David. But anyways, it becomes a spell because a so above, so below. You're the energy that controls that. But anyways, ABCs will tell you everything. Like in physics, biology, math, uh, everything pretty much. Especially physics will tell you about how the light actually works. So if you was trying to build something, all you have to do is tie back to the ABCs. The ABC is the alpha beta, the alphabet, the alpha beta. What is the alpha beta? Left and right. What is that also? The 12, 1 and 2. What is that? An A and a B. So when your A and your B comes together, now it denotes the C. That's the supreme mathematics, the algebra. A plus B equals C. What is that? An upside down triangle. An upside down triangle is the UV from the sun, which is still a delta. Because delta, uh, one of the definitions of delta is ultra UV, and also radio communications. So when you sending thoughts or whatever, you're communicate. That's a radio communication. You have your naturally, and then you have, the bot shit. So I don't even know how I got on this, but yeah, that's why the HIV, they're trying to pretty much bring that back like the 80s. All right, I'm seeing some, working with me, guys. I'm seeing some old stuff. I had to download, talking about Zeus and Niagara Falls a while ago. Now I guess people are starting to see that. I didn't really go into it. I just said, watch out for it. Sus. Okay? That's what I'm saying. Like, this book right here, that's when I started. That's when I started. I kind of got, like, the whole story in here, low-key. I'm looking for the clouds formula. Because it's affecting all of us around the world, y'all. And really, sounds crazy, but if everyone was to ground with the same intent, that shit would not be able to sit there. Because now the plasma from the ground will start to rise and push it back up. Because they use these clouds to build a magnetic field, but because the magnetic field is depleting. So they manipulating the radiation, and as that falls, it creates cold air. So if it's cold outside, and it might be 50 and it feels like it's colder, it's because that shit is in the air. It will affect you if you're still eating a lot of meat and mucus up and not replacing yourself with a lot of minerals from natural foods, because it gets stuck in the mucus. And it's like a epoxy coating. It's like motherfucking cocaine. Like, weed is like the sun. Cocaine is like the clouds. And all this shit goes right back to a class act investigation that can easily be proved. That's what they was testing it on, because they had to test it on us, because the body of the planet is us. It's part of our nervous system. So there's biology, chemistry, and pathology all in that, which is the metaverse. This is crazy. I really can't find this right now. I know it's in here. Oh, I got the dream written down there. I didn't know that. I forgot. All right. Maybe we could talk about something else. But no, we're going to talk about this shit. Because I made this video about timelines, but you need to understand the clouds first. It's just, I'm going to say it in their words. I'm not going to say it in my words just right now. I'm going to say it in their words first. So it ain't like I made it up. I just wrote it down. But a lot of this cold shit, I mean, it's not really helping the planet and consciousness like that, but some of the cold shit is actually saving a lot of you guys. Why? Because light and heat is the activation to, it's the reactant that pretty much have people froze up and paralysis and shit like that. I'm not gonna say a lot of you guys, but some people took that road And if you did, I'm gonna need you to fast. Period. Just fast. You're gonna end up feeling like a better person at the end of the day. So it's like, if you can get through something like that, I believe in you. You just gotta believe in yourself. All right, found it. I call this the cloud spray vaccine. Okay? Excuse my reading some big words. And excuse my profanity. And I hope y'all having a great day starting off so far. But anyways, the cloud spray vaccine. Okay, you see, you look up these clouds, right? They're probably like, hold on, let me show y'all. Because how it looks right now, that's how it looks when it snows. But with this camera, you could kind of see the radiation already through it a little bit. You see the little colors? That's not normal. I have a good phone. But anyways, that's a sheet, okay? And there's really 3 layers to that. So, you know, you got your atmosphere, stratosphere, all that extra stuff. They be trying to layer that up, okay? So what's in the clouds right here is the formula, okay? So let's talk about what's in it. Excuse the big words, just work with me. If you need to see it for yourself, please look it up, because that makes more light bulbs click in your head. And you know, the light bulb is really just the crown state activating, right? Okay? Be the head, not the tail. Stay in your heart space to discern. Because if it's not right, it's not righteous. So let's go. Calcium carbonate nanoparticles. We have nanoparticles in these clouds. You can see it. Like if you turn your high beams on at nighttime, you can see these particles just floating. They look like little atoms. They're just floating around, like going around in circles, such for dropping straight to the ground, you feel me? It's like most of the time it's misty, but nah, it's not that. I haven't seen rain so dirty in my life. You know, you have to keep cleaning your car and everything, or it builds up. It's like this black dust. That's the graphene that's with it, okay? So it's called gold particles. So we have you know, like Dragon Ball Z, the gold clouds. The gold clouds was the calcium carbonate, okay? So calcium carbonate nanoparticles anchored graphene oxide gold sheet nanoparticle hybrid. So gold CaCO3 are fabricated, and their structures can be measured by scanning electrons through microscope, transmission electron microscopy, X-ray photo electron spectroscopy, X-ray diffractions, and Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy analysis. I already knew people was gonna hop off them big words. Afterwards, composite of epoxy coating filled with gold and gold CO3 nanohybrids are prepared via a curing process. The dispersion and anti-corrosive properties of the composite epoxy coatings are investigated. The result revealed that gold CaCO3 nanohybrids achieve a homogeneous dispersion as well as reinforce corrosion resistance of epoxy coating. Furthermore, the anti-corrosive mechanisms are tentatively proposed for GO CaCO3 epoxy coatings. So epoxy is the family of basic components or cured ends, products of epoxy resins. Epoxy resins, also known as polypoxides, are a class of reactive polymers which contain epoxy groups. My bad, my mouth dry as hell. The epoxide functional group is also collectively called epoxy. They tell you never breathe in the sanding dust of partially cured epoxy. Epoxy chemicals remain reactive until they have cured. When you inhale these dust particles, they become trapped in the mucus lining of your respiratory system. Reactive reactive materials can cause severe respiratory irritation or respiratory allergies, which is COVID. Remember, it was the airborne sickness going around. Like, if you remember that COVID smell, you could smell that shit in the air. It usually falls at nighttime, but you could smell it in the morning time. Like, all that fog, like, say you wake up and all that, it's just foggy out and it's like hit the ground. You could smell that shit in the air, you feel me? So, inhaling the produced fumes or dust can affect the throat, the lungs, nose. Oh, I said throat again. High amounts of repetitive exposure to those fumes can cause asthma and sensitization to what? The sun. So that's in the clouds, right? So they usually use that because we have solar flares always hitting the planet. So as you have these solar flares hitting the planet, they put that up, right? And when they, because it's a lot of heat that's hitting this planet right now. And when them solar flares interact with the clouds, some of them get reflected back up and then the rest falls. So now it's mixed with the radiation, like pretty much your energy. So when you compare that as a reflection looking outside of you, the air is like the blood, and the air and the fire is like the blood outside of you. And the planet and the water is pretty much like, in nature. But the air is the blood. You feel me? So if they fuck with the air, which is the blood, it starts to interact with you. Okay? But knowing that they're doing that, what is it going to interfere with? It says when you breathe it in, it gets trapped in the mucus lining of your respiratory, what creates mucus. So remove what creates mucus. That's not going to bother you. Don't fuck with the drugs because the drugs pretty much close up channels. That's why you get constipated when you start taking them so much. It's a blockage thing. It's supposed to make more blood flow, but it actually makes a blood clot. Like perks and all that extra stuff. Yeah. So, boom. I'm just talking, y'all. Y'all just, you know, like and subscribe. I will be making. I'm really just gonna go over everything again, and cause I got some shit, y'all. I don't even know. Got some shit. And I used the ABCs just to define everything that I was drawing. The symbolism and then the definitions still there, just in different languages. So half of this, it would pretty much be like a Libra, but I call this Preparation H from Austin Powers. It's pretty much a magnet that's pulling energy from both realms. Like, because in the middle, that's us. You feel me? That's us in the middle. But with these drones and certain things, they have an eye weapon. Like a lot of those energy weapons, yes, it could fuck you up. But if you were eating the way you were supposed to be eating, you need to know that energy is yours. So it would literally transmute. And they would get scared of that. Okay? Because to get back to this bot shit is definitions and words. Okay? I need to rename this. Okay? But look, like a micron. Omi means ayin, which is a prefix of the word zayin in Hebrew. Ayin means eye. Zayin means weapon. Okay? Oh, I wrote this as a story. I said, we broke down how Xenobot was connected to a micron and Xenia, which Xenia is the hospitality they're showing, like through the hospitals and giving money, the government those are the motherfuckers showing so-called hospitality to pretty much snake you and extend their contract on this plane. Because the 5D is going to be connected, but they can get removed unless people continue their illusion. If nobody continue their illusion, then they're, you feel me? They're just gonna still try to do what they always been doing. Because you have to realize this shit already happened 3,600 years ago. 3,600 years ago is 12 years ago. And I feel like shit like this happens every 27 years. It's a 999 thing. Okay? So getting back to these definitions of words they use, they're code names. Delta, biggest code name ever. Corona started it with the sun, right? But Delta pretty much tells you what it does. And really the whole alphabet will. Promise you. If you could take the time and do that shit, it helps when you write it down so you can put it together. But let's get to it. Omi is An. Omi is the prefix of Omicron in Greek. An is Omicron in Hebrew. They both come out to a numeral of 7. Even if it's 70 and you add it up, comes back to, I think, 7, I think. 7 or 6. One of them might be 7, one of them might be 6. But anyways, Zeno, right? Zeno means gift of Zeus. Okay? This is time back around to this time of Christmas, too. Zeno is the gift of Zeus. When you go back to the story of Zeus and Hera, they was trying to poison Kronos, I believe. And they was trying to poison them with this acid, which is alchemy. But it was with this potion. It was some acid pretty much to kill him. So the gift of Zeus was always the acid to Zeno. Okay? So Kron, which comes from Omicron, and bot, which comes from the word xenobot, the suffix, Omicron and xenobot means the same thing. So Kron definitions is a Unix utility, which is a Unix daemon system that execute commands. So maybe it's just me, but it's kind of weird that they use daemon, which is supposed to be a divine type of spirit type thing. You know, like how you have your demons and then your daemons. So like, it says a cron is a Unix utility. The Unix system is pretty much a robot system. It's a copy of the universal system. So the Unix system deals with frequencies just like the planet and everything like that. So let me just say the definitions first, then we can say that. All right, so a Unix utility is a Unix daemon that execute commands and cron top files at a specific time. Specific times and dates. Okay, let me just read this out first, then we can go into what it's saying. Also used as a schedule, such as function, as a backup and maintenance procedure. Like if it was a reset, you know. Often called cron jobs. So a cron is a Unix utility called a daemon that executes commands and cron tab files at specific times and dates. So pretty much the Unix system is a copy of the universal system dealing with a computer. So it's going to be dealing with frequencies. The frequencies of these hertz actually align with certain times, dealing along with a timeline that happened in 3,600 years. Okay? This is part 1. We're going to say that shit again. The cron job is the Unix utility, which is called the daemon, that executes and commands in a cron tab file at specific times and dates. Those specific times and dates are pretty much signaled by frequencies, which is radio communications, which is like how your body and just how the planet works, period. So the frequency that's going to be that date and that time is coming off the sun. It's hertz. But hertz is a measurement of energy, right? Time time is just a measurement of energy, okay? A quantum energy. So fucking the measurement hertz is pretty much aligned with the measurements of the years if you was time traveling, especially when it's dealing with the cells or the atoms outside of you, or if it's dealing with the which deals with the atoms inside of you. You could time travel through that shit. Pretty much why everyone's time traveling right now, if you even know it or not. Well, you have the ability to. Because as the planet is, you are. So it's just you have keys with these frequencies that you can use these frequencies as keys and open up gates within you. Same gates they say you could travel, with, like, I don't know, these ETs or whatever, but you could do the same thing, just enter. And that's really the way you're going to do shit. Like, you don't have to travel to somewhere. You could literally be in your bed, ask yourself what you want to know, and boom. But I prefer, like, eating right, semen retention, heart frequency. It's just automatically going to do it. But you have to be matching your truth. That's like unlocking your chakras. Because now you're going to be, when you unlock that crown, you're going to go higher. It's higher chakras, which is the master ascension shit. Anyways, let's get back to this. So a cron is a command run on. Bot, which is the suffix of xenobot. And if people don't know, a xenobot is an AI program. It's an AI bot, small as fuck, that could be transferred through a lipoprotein, pretty much a shot. A xenobot could be transferred through a shot, pretty much, and it replicates itself just like a cell, and it trans, it pretty much communicate and sends back information that's going on in the body or dealing with these cells. Period. It's if you've seen Underworld, the Xenobot is the Kato. Like if I wish I had my tablet, but all of them broke. If you look up the Kato, I think it's spelled Cadou, something like that, from Underworld, and look up the definitions. It's going to talk about DNA sequence and all this extra shit. But the Kato in the Underworld is the Xenobot. So if you do some research on the Xenobot, it's on YouTube now. That tell you what the fuck it is. But it could be transferred through a jab. You feel me? It's a lipoprotein transfer. Okay? So when I say Xenobot, that's what I'm referring to. But they named it Xeno because that's the gift of Zeus. That's what Xeno means. And the gift of Zeus they try to give the Chronos, and Hera was the acid. So let's get back to bot. So bot is an autonomous program on the internet or another network that can interact with systems or users. Okay? A bot that's the first definition. The second definition is a robot. So a bot is an autonomous program on the internet or another network that can interact with systems or users. I mean, yeah, it's talking about computers, but you gotta realize it's transhumanism going on. Nigga, so that's why I'm explaining this. Because it's transhumanism going on. Okay? It's been going on. This is nothing new at all. You feel me? So the second definition of bot is a robot. The third is a computer program that operates as an agent for a user or other programs to simulate a human's activity. They are used to auto mark. Oh, this shit kind of old, a little dusty. So they are used to auto mark certain. So I can't even see what that shit say. Meaning that it will run with specific instructions from humans. I don't know if y'all seen Matrix, the fourth one, and how all them people attack Neo. Oh shit! Like them niggas, it was like a frequency hit them, and they just and started got down. That's that cron job shit. I'm just saying, because once that chromosome 6 deletion, duplicating cells, and them shit's dealing with parasites. So when them parasites can't get it no more, it's already gonna be trained to eat. Niggas don't know what's in these foods at this point. The math not mathing with animals, so what else is it? And that's why the EE virus too, because there's other animals and all types of shit. Which is reason herpes is popping back up, the EEE virus. I made a boring ass video, but I was screen recording my research. I didn't never research it, so I just screen recorded as I was doing it. But came out and discovered that's what the herpes was dealing with too. Started on that, I need to finish. So pretty much, let me show y'all some. I'm not gonna get into it because I didn't even finish. It's a little, all right, so you have your A, your B, that denoted on the planet, it rose back up and denoted the energy up. Then that energy came back down, and that's what's keep on going. It's pretty much a cycle thing. So one triangle up, one triangle down, slides together, shielded it. That's some 6D shit. We're in the 6D, while the 7D is settling. If you're on the right side of the universal line, the Greenwich line on the map, y'all are most likely dealing with the 8th dimension already. Okay, that energy on the physical state, the 8 ether. Anyone left on the Mu side, dealing with the 7. That's why Trump on this side. Okay, so this is what I was saying, the alpha beta system, or the alphabet, is talking about the brain. But this simulation is a brain simulation, which is called the Unum Sanctum. And reverse is Munu Sanctum, which is pretty much the brain sanctum. Anyways, the alpha beta system will tell you a lot of shit how energy works. Okay, so A is an angstrom, which is the angel symbol for 144. 144 degrees is a sunspot in the Pacific Ocean next to California. That's why y'all deal with all them earthquakes, because it's land still there. Okay, and that's trying to rise. So pretty much 1, 2, 3, 4, it's a connection coming over, and it's pretty much going to start merging with the other side. Okay, because if you put 1 through 6, fuck it, I didn't expect to do this shit right now, but all right. All right. So, traveling through these dimensions. I'm going to explain it weird. It's not going to be the same. I'm not book smart. But look, 1, 2, 3 created a ABC. You know, like Michael Jackson said, ABC. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. But one, you feel me? So that's the A, B, C. The C equals 72, dealing with the brain, the gamma wave. Because the C is gamma, okay? So, boom, that hit. 2020, going into the game, that denoted the planet to rise, okay? So the energy going back up. Boom, 4, 5, 6. So 4, 5, 6 end up being till 2023, going into this. 4, 5, 6 is a C low. Remember, gamma is C, which goes back to the 3 crosses, 3 cubes. It's a gambling game. It's called CeeLo. You got the 3 dices, 12 faces. Anyways, but all right. So we're in this right now, okay? From 2024 to 2027, okay? This is what we're dealing with now. This is settling. This will settle by April on a physical state. When that happens, this is like half of it. Okay, so pretty much is merging for cycle begins to start the 3 suns for it to pop out. This is pretty much 1 sun, there's 2 sun, 3 suns, and then this is gonna be the 4 sun type of energy denoted into 1 sun. So, but it's 7 aligning though right now. Remember in June, when them 6 planets align, that's 6 plus 1, that was denoting 7D on time. April 27th, going into May, that was the beginning of that cycle. So June, it was on time. You feel me? So now it's denoting the 7, okay? But it's a 3, 6, 9, 12. That's why I got the 1, 2, 3, because the 12 is the rebirth stage. Okay, so that's when you have your January 27th going into the Super Bowl. Okay, that's some portals. It's a portal that's open. It's just like the Lionsgate. That whole time until pretty much April, yeah, that's the rebirth stage, because it has to have a rebirth stage to denote the 8, to denote this, because this already went, but it's a timeline with it, right? You have your clock, 12, 3, 6, 9. This is also north, east, south, west, which comes back to 90, 180, 270, 360. Oh, I'll write it like that. Look at all of the phone and shit. But look, so boom. Now you have your grid, okay? And really at a tilt, X-Men symbol.